Hi. Hello. Hello. Hi. I want to talk about Christian theology and agrarian theology and how that relates to fact justice. Now, Christianity, it's big, it's broad, it is 2,000 years old, and so for all sorts of reasons, including imperialism and colonialism, it's all over the world, and there are different ways of doing it. I'm a sincere Christian from a denomination called the United Methodist Church. I'm currently working as a pastoral intern in Western North Carolina, but I come from a region of the United States called Massachusetts. And so I'm going to speak from this context, and it is a Christian context, and you might not have that same frame of reference, or even if you do have that frame of reference, maybe you disagree with me. I'm not really an expert. I'm just a pastoral intern who's very interested in body body love and acceptance and neutrality and positivity and how that can come together with agrarian theology from a Christian's perspective. And my hope is that whatever tradition you come from, you will know that I'll be there with you to tenaciously work out how to do that well. Um, because I'm sure there are ways that are covered up just because of the way that our society has been operating to push fat bodies and body positivity to the side. So we'll probably be able to uncover that together. So, food studies and food justice movements are right to critique many aspects of the food system. There are issues of environmental degradation, worker exploitation, soil depletion, and the economics surrounding food do not provide access or nutrition to all people. Um, Yet there are a lot of issues that come from this that are antagonistic or even invoking fat hatred to this movement that Hernandez writes about very well. Um, this can include usually not an overt not liking of fat bodies, but a way of looking at fat bodies as diseased, wrong, a symptom of a negative externality caused by food injustice, food systems. As we enter the Anthropocene and it feels like the world is going out of control, one of the markers of this becomes a fat body. This becomes seen as not natural, a, a, a deviation from what bodies are supposed to be. Or it can be related to the ways of talking about class and race and gender and how those things can lead some folks, poorer folks, people of color, can be fatter or more obese, right? And how that can um, fatter or more obese, and that could help and just saying like, "Oh, just in passing, this is a relation to the obesity epidemic and things like that." Julie Guthman sort of traces the history of this food justice, food movement, and there's a lot of different roots and sources for it. It can feel, real foodies can become somewhat elitist and or things like that, and we also see that for folks who care deeply about food, um, fat bodies could be seen as like a disconnection to land. So as we bring ourselves more into connection and relationality with land, that would be curative for obesity or something. And I want to go away from this. I'm sort of fat myself, and I've also been drawn previously to the intersection of these things, um, and the works of people like Michael Pollan. And of course, in the Christian tradition, people are recovering and rebuilding and continuing, uh, caring deeply about land and environmental justice, food justice, um, and why this is important to care about creation and to be a part of creation. Um, so, but Christianity, as Sabrina Strings traces in her book "Fearing the Black Body," we see that her research shows specifically Protestant theology, certain Protestant theologies, putting a moral aspect behind thinness, uh, and looking at overconsumption and all these things as if though the health benefits there, and also a lot of this domination, can be traced. Some people would say to Genesis chapter 1 verse 28 that we will have dominion over all of the earth. But I want to sort of reconstruct and deconstruct those sorts of things in this talk. Okay, that was 3 minutes. Okay, cool. So I could keep going. So then this will be the actual part of it. So, um, having dominion over the earth is something that